Hey everyone, and thanks for checking out another video. We're in Baltimore, Maryland, and you're looking at the Mount Royal Station. This is footage I've had sitting on a hard drive for a few years, but just never got around to doing anything with. Now that CSX is finally moving forward with the Howard Street Tunnel project, I figured I might as well publish it. The Howard Street Tunnel is tucked behind and under those trees. We'll see a couple trains enter the 8,700-foot tunnel and learn a little bit about it and why CSX is closing it for a major upgrade. That long green structure covers the former passenger platform next to the north entrance of the Howard Street Tunnel. I'll put a link in the description with more on the history of the station and how it became an art building. If you're in Baltimore, it's worth stopping by. Now to the famous tunnel, well, at least for rail fans. We're at the north entrance and we have some good news, an advance approach at the main track. The dwarf signal to the left controls a siding that singles up at the mouth of the tunnel. A few minutes later, and the signal aspect improved to an approach medium. It wasn't long before I could hear a train rumbling toward me. I think it's a local with a power move. I was curious to see number 4389 on the lead of this train in front of those GE units. Here's a quick fun fact. 4389 is quite famous. It used to be numbered 8888, and it was a locomotive at the heart of the movie Unstoppable, also known as the Crazy Eights incident. Unfortunately, this is not a great place to railfan as there's a metal fence blocking the tracks. Also, I was only able to railfan for brief spurts because I was visiting the city, so I didn't have my usual gear with me. I still think those tunnels are so cool though, and it's incredible. They're 130 years old. It's tough to tell just by looking, but these tunnels can only handle single stack cars. That's why over the coming years, the clearance of the tunnel will be increased to allow double stack containers to run through. This tunnel has been the main obstacle to double stack trains. This 1.7-mile long tunnel runs through the heart of Baltimore under Howard Street, hence the name. It was originally built in 1895. Parts of it are a foot and a half below the minimum 21 feet necessary for double stack containers. There are 21 other clearance issues in the area, but getting this Howard Street tunnel opened up is the biggest and costliest project. I'm so glad they were able to save this depot and structure. Here's a view from where the street goes over top those two tunnels. You get a better idea of the support for that passenger canopy. They just don't build things like they used to. This hasn't been a passenger stop since 1961. I was able to catch a second train here on a different day. This one has an approach signal entering the tunnel. Back to the project, it will allow double stack trains to pass through Baltimore on the I-95 corridor between the Capital and Philadelphia subdivisions. The 1.7-mile tunnel has been the main reason stack trains cannot pass through the area, along with nearly 24 other clearance obstructions that are also being taken care of. The tunnel was originally opened in 1895, but it was about 18 inches or 46 centimeters too short for the needed 21 feet or 6.4 meter clearance needed for double stacks. I'll include a link to a brief video CSX put together on the project. The traffic will be detoured over the Norfolk Southern Harrisburg line in Philadelphia. This very crudely edited image shows the routing they're going to be taking, and the trains will rejoin CSX tracks in Hagerstown, Maryland. The tunnel is expected to reopen as early as August or September of 2025. Once reopened, the containers will run through Cumberland, Maryland on their way to Pittsburgh before making a run through Ohio and Indiana on their way to Chicago. CSX says it could mean as many as 125,000 new containers being hauled. Well, that does it for this section. I had a flight to catch and needed to get over to the light rail station. I hope you enjoyed seeing the historic tunnel entrance up close. I do hope to make it back at some point and check it out again once those double-stack trains are running through. I didn't have far to walk. The light rail station's on the other side of the two tunnels our train came through. I'm not sure if both or if only the main line will have its clearance increased. It seems like the track on the right is the most used out of the two. You can really see how tight some of these tunnels are. Luckily for me, a train came while I was waiting for our light rail. A few minutes after that train cleared, a light rail came through going the opposite direction. And there's my train. This really is a great way to get to BWI Airport if you're in the city. This is a different day and a different light rail stop near M&T Bank Stadium where the Ravens play. That's the southern entrance of the tunnel. The original entrance is buried under the highway. This is part of an extension for when I-395 was built in the early 1980s. I'll put a link to a Railfan guidepost that has a picture of the original southern entrance as well as several other great pictures of the tunnel. This new entrance certainly doesn't have the historic feel to it, but it does have a train about to come out. Sorry, I'm trying to record with two cell phones at once, and I'm not doing a very good job with either. I tried one more time to catch a train going into the southern entrance of the tunnel. I'm set up here in the parking lot across the tracks from the Ravens Stadium. Unfortunately, I missed the locomotives entering the tunnel with my drone, but it does give you a pretty good view of it. You can see where the highway goes over top of it. Now those are light rail tracks going over the entrance, and that's the Camden Yards MARC station to the left. It's a stub end station. And there's the end of our train. I hope you enjoyed this brief look at a historic piece of infrastructure. Before we leave though, we'll get a quick look at Norfolk Southern's Bayview Yard early on a Monday morning. We're looking west. Downtown Baltimore is in the upper left corner of the screen. Keep in mind when I shot this was in 2021, so railcar volumes were still down due to the pandemic. CSX's Bayview Yard is just north of here. You can barely see it in the top of your screen. This was shot with my old drone, a DJI Mavic 2 Pro. It wasn't as good as my current one, but it still does a great job in low light, I think.
I don't know why nobody caught that when it was built. PTCO operable and engines should be counterdated from the last crew that I talked to, and fuel and everything should be good from what I understand.
That's correct, 3300 over.
Alright, okay, West, signal indication.
And we're going to have to stop this thing distance because the cab business has been cut out over.
Well, can't you do that at Jessup when you un-DP it over?
Yeah, we can do it there.
Yeah, no sense in stopping twice, so.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Alright, okay, West, signal indication.
Alright, Roger, here we go. 49 out.
Thanks, BL.
71 Bayview. Bayview, over. Good morning. You can see the outbound crew to Batavia Farms Road there.
We can see there's some flat track switching going on in the NS yard, and as we pan, we can see several cars with farm tractor equipment. I'd be willing to bet those green units are John Deere, and I think the blue ones are New Holland, and this red one is likely Case.
The 49 got a slot. They on the move now.
Track speed, dispatcher, Jack Spencer.
Q41031, over.
Q41031, I got Bolton's already. I'm showing, of course, I also know that you're on duty at 210. Departing 65 by 35, 9199 tons, and 6045 in Waco.
I'm not sure how this yard is now, or if this is just a typical day, but unfortunately, there just wasn't much action going on. Here's a bit of a wider look at the yard.
That is correct, over. Number for a trip. Not a key train. We have one order rack. The PTC both functional. We are DP capable, and we are DP over.
Alright, sounds good. Okay, East where you stand, certification ahead.
I do that.
Thank you much. Be dispatch expo.
Try a little harder, bro. Say it again. Need you try a little harder, yo, before I couple up and shove you up there, yo.
Next door at the CSX yard, we have a train coming through. That's the Amtrak Quad Avenue Maintenance and Way base those vehicles are going into.
Oh, alright. Hey, that might be an option. Is that bad? It ain't pulling like that? We shall see. Let me know, Twan, if you can. Yo, I'm not gonna give up my spot where I'm stopped at. But they want me to pull up and wait for it. Alright, right there, yo. Alright. What's that?
I'm saying both of these units should be online. Both that check. Should be online. I put both of them on.
My man up there is struggling. Which train? Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yo, is it moving yet? Train messed up there, man. I should just call yo and tell him to that brief now. I got like 19 minutes left. You ain't moving.
As we keep moving west, you can see a container train heading south over the northeast corridor tracks. Notice the concrete ties. Those CSX tracks lead to the Port of Baltimore. As we take a closer look, you can see the Y between the port, the yard, and the tracks heading to the Howard Street Tunnel. That's Interstate 895 in front of us. The CSX Bayview Yard office is the one with the blue top.
The rear better be moving by now.
Anywhere in here is
Riding up here with me, where you at, Jamal? West 1, clear Bayview, 37 out. Hell no. That's what you wanted? Oh, brother, no. I wish I would come flying up in there unit at Bayview. 371 Bayview. Bayview? Yeah, Batavia Farm there, Mike.
It'll be a while because I don't have no van, so stand by there.
Stand by.
Back to the NS yard. Looks like 3 GP units to me, one of which is an Operation Lifesaver. I'm not sure, but it looks like that second locomotive is doing most of the work. What do you think? Is that an exhaust issue, or is it just the only unit providing power? One quick note, the tracks with the brand new concrete ties just past the locomotives are part of the Northeast Corridor. That's where Amtrak runs between DC and Boston. We'll see Baltimore's Penn Station in a follow-up video.
Swan, what's the speed? Say again? The current speed. Oh, 7 miles per hour. 7.
328, set up on 5496 whenever you're ready.
Nah, this train look good. Poles are in place. Be safe, all right?
I appreciate it. You guys look good. Also, Market Flash.
Thank you for the observation. Q, 371. Out. Yeah, Gator, man. Gator. Hey, what's up, man? You got up to 10 miles per hour yet? No, Gator. 7 miles per hour. That's all you gonna get. Okay, Butchie. Chuck. 409. Go ahead, yo. How long your train is? Too damn long. 12,000. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, okay. I feel you. Hey, head.
41031 eastbound on 2, clear. Rossville, 3052.
That's good radio, 3237.
I didn't see it at the time, but if you look closely, you can see a tank car that was just kicked and heading down one of the tracks. I caught a glimpse of this bright light on the screen and wanted to see what that was. Looks like another CSX train coming through.
You're ahead.
3796. CSX. I'm sorry, 371. Westbound on number 1. Restricted Rosedale. Locomotive CSX 951. Baby.
Bayview.
We gonna make it. Safety welcome.
How you gonna make it?
Do it.
Got a choice?
Oh, yeah. You must put me in a bad spot.
31 east, make that a clear problem.
CSX car clearance detector. Milepost 90.7. Track 1.
CSX equipment defect detector. Milepost 80.4.
Ahead. No.
CSX equipment defect detector. Milepost 80.4. No defects. No defects. Total axle 418. End of transmission.
Or no. I'm riding back 10.
Tell me I gotta get a switch back there.
I'd say once you get stopped at Jessup, then give the chief a call. I'll go ahead and talk to the chief now. Let him know that you're not sure what the move is. Well, as far as using the Jessup yard, I mean, you could use the westbound siding there, couldn't you? Out of it, because it doesn't become the yard until you're up there by Meade, between Meade and Jessup. The rest of that's the westbound siding. But let me go over, let the chief know you're not sure what the move is, but keep it coming, and you need to keep it coming by Jessup, because I don't have a route otherwise through the terminal, and we'll have the UPS and MARC trains all stopped. Over. We're going to talk to the chief. Meade, Special X stop.
Q37201, yeah, let's go. Signal in case there Lansdowne, over. You gonna need West Baltimore, over? Signal in case CSX Bayview Dispatch X, on.
Down on me. Clear.
Hey, the chief just called me and said he just needs all the power on the head end. So he said if we put all the power on the head end, he's good with that.
Oh, 127. The D932 at my back door there. He's got to come into Masonville to get 37 and 38 and head back out. Okay, okay. I was going to say, if you shove him in wherever last track he comes off of, which will probably be 37. If you're going to hold on to him, you're going to hold on to him.
2801, got her. All right, what bulls did you have, over? Say that again, over. 14 car situations. What bulls are you carrying, over? Dispatch Jackson Lansing, over. 1, got her. All right, have you plugged those numbers into PTC yet, over? What? Give me the other guy, because it's not matching, I don't think, over. It's not matching on my end. We had system updates, that might be affecting it. Give it to me one more time so I can enter it manually, over. CSX, dispatch Jackson Lansing, over. 02, over. Alright, you running PTC, over.
Those tank cars are part of the train we just saw coming through a moment ago. Thankfully, the sun has finally lit everything up. This train is heading to the Howard Street Tunnel.
Alright, you, to make these, to just pick up on the cars on the siding, you just gonna go straight into the siding, or what's the move you need to make, over? Alright, signal location, get you into the siding, and, go from there, over. Sounds good. CSX dispatch Jackson.
Pass that switch, you're clear of the zone. You pass the switch, clear the zone. 192, T98 is clear the zone. Steve Murchison, I'm trying to get you stashed out behind us. There, Murch. We don't have time around here, buddy.
Check team, baby. Voila. Stand by there so I can get a crew out there to you. Over. Oh, I got a nice hotel here.
Go ahead, we're on 32.
CSX dispatch Jackson Lansing, over. Holman, over. Dropping your blocking at Leadenhall, 0944 REM. Thank you. Anybody else over BE, over?
BE, Boy Wheeler, over.
Wheeler, over.
Yeah, I'm up here at St. Dennis, looking to pick up number 2 track from you. EAS Carroll number 2 to the EAS St. Dennis on number 2 for about 2.5 hours. I got a frog on number 2 track that needs to get welded today, over.
Where are you at, over?
I'm here at St. Dennis, BAA .2. I need from the EAS Carroll number 2 to EAS St. Dennis number 2. I got a frog inside St. Dennis interlocking that has to get welded.
Alright, I've got a train block parked at Silver Spring on 2, over.
Alright, how long you think it'd be before I can get 2 track, over?
I mean, if you need to, where are you trying to set on, over?
BAA 6.2, over.
In the interlocking at Carroll, why do you need, or in the interlocking at St. Dennis, why do you need up to Carroll, over?
The road crossing's just outside the interlocking, actually, here at St. Dennis.
It's gonna have to wait till 216 moves here. But nobody on that train. I don't know when their plan is to move that 216, over.
Is there any way after I get on and get inside St. Dennis, I can go ahead and give up Carroll and just hold EAS St. Dennis and WAS St. Dennis?
Not from that end, since there's no crew on that 216. The 216 is tied down, over.
All right, I'll just on standby, check in with you periodically, over.
All right, sounds good. Anybody else over BE, over?
Well, that does it for this very brief look at the Howard Street Tunnel and these yards. I hope you enjoyed it. I plan on making another trip out here to check out the harbor, as well as the loading operations there at some point. Until our next trip, I hope you have a great day.